live. Yeah, yeah, we going live. Hey, hey, we going live. Yeah, yeah, we going live. Yeah, yeah, we going. Yeah, yeah, we going. Yeah, 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 we going live. From the 50-yard line, we going live. From the 50-yard line, we going live. From the 50-yard line. Hey.
Hello, beautiful people.
Hello, hello, hello.
I am Jarrett, the football genius Burgess.
And I am Stephanie Fitzpatrick, aka the Advantage Coach.
And this is episode 139 of the Field to the Real podcast.
Yes, God. Close to
We
the 150.
chugging along,
My
right?
gosh. Wow. Wow. Okay.
I'm always amazed at like just the numbers and how they just keep going up. Because I remember like us, like, all right, trying to figure out around this time last year, like, what are we going to do for our 100th episode? So to be this close to 150 is amazing.
Yeah.
Truly remarkable.
Yeah. I'm loving it. Yes, God.
Yeah, but let's jump right into this Who's Really Right, because I've been stewing on this whole this thing with the college football playoff. I'm not happy with I'm not happy with how it all shook out.
Not at all.
I think the part of it that I am the most unhappy with is just that Georgia did not take care of business in the SEC championship. And it's as if they were relying on the fact that they had done so well all season and that Alabama was just going to lay down.
No. If you don't know Nick Saban, then Kirby.
Right.
Yeah.
And so for this Who's Really Right, it's all about our predictions of how this college football playoff is going to shake out.
Yeah.
And so I am struggling with this because I know what I want to happen, but I think I know what's going to happen.
Okay. Tell me what you want to happen first.
So I want Cincinnati to beat Alabama.
Okay.
Okay. I want Cincinnati to beat Alabama.
Okay.
I don't think that Alabama, even though they beat the number one team, I don't think that they should have just been able to leapfrog everybody to be number one.
No,
I feel like
absolutely not.
Michigan should have been number one. And if they really wanted to have a rematch of the SEC championship, it looks like that's the way that they formatted the playoffs, then they should have just had it in the semifinals.
Right.
And so the fact that Alabama just leapfrogged everybody, made it to number one, they gave no credence to the fact that Cincinnati is the only undefeated team in this playoff. I have a real disdain for the fact that, like, if this is what we're going to do, if it's always going to be an SEC bias, and I get it, I understand that they are the top conference in college football, but we see them falter all the time, especially when it gets later in the weeks of college football. And like, I'm tired of seeing it. I just really am. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if this is what we're going to do, we're going to use human bias, because somebody's going to have a problem with everything. If we're going to use human bias and error to pick these teams, I'd rather just it go back to the computers.
Right.
Just allow the computers to pick 8 teams instead of 4.
Right.
And let them duke it out that way.
That's it. No, I agree. I was very disappointed. I agree. I was disappointed to see that Alabama was number one, and I don't think because you beat the number one team that just should have automatically just taken you to number one, simply because the week before you struggled to beat a team that wasn't even ranked. You just happened. I think it's some kind of mental block for Kirby when it comes to playing Alabama, honestly. And so, that's your boy, that's your, mentor.
Right.
And I feel like there's something there that just keeps you from being able to put your foot in their neck and just keep it moving. Right. I really do. And so what I'm going to predict, which is against the what like you, what's probably going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Because now I'm gonna say Cincinnati's going to beat Alabama.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah. Watching the Cincinnati team this entire year,
Mm-hmm.
they have a chip on their shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we've had these conversations about the level of talent
Mm-hmm.
at SEC schools versus the other conferences.
Yeah.
And like we talked last week, I believe, about like why Brian Kelly would go to LSU.
Mm-hmm.
Right. But I feel like we had this conversation as well that Alabama is an Alabama of old. They beat Georgia. That's true. I feel like that's a Georgia problem, not an Alabama dominance thing.
Right.
This is probably the most vulnerable Alabama team that I've seen come to this point in a long time.
Right.
And I feel like if Cincinnati, if they got just a wee bit more in them than Georgia had, they can beat them.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like Cincinnati can beat Alabama.
Okay.
I feel like Georgia is going to drag Michigan because they pissed about what they did last week.
Yeah. So my mind tells me that'll be the but they can also be completely demoralized, and that's what I'm like. My heart tells me that part.
Oh God.
So I don't know what to go with, my mind or my heart.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just go with my heart. I want Cincinnati and Michigan to play for the national championship, and this is purely one because like I'm upset with Georgia that they didn't get the job done. Like I'm upset with Georgia that they didn't get the job done, and that I had to hear Roll Tide all week at the gym. I'm so upset by that because
I'm so sorry.
you know, shout out to Wheelay. I was with Wheelay in that tweet.
Absolutely.
I got Georgia by 40.
Right.
40, 50.
Yes.
Like, and for them to come and lay an egg like that is just...
Yeah, they laid an egg. They did.
You know.
They laid an egg. They did. But I feel like they're going to redeem themselves because they've been the number one team the whole season.
Yeah.
For a reason. They've been the number one team all season for a reason, right?
This is where I knew that we would kind of be on opposite sides of this argument because you know how much I wanted Georgia to win last week.
Right,
you know it. I can't stand Alabama.
Right.
But after looking at Georgia's schedule and looking at the teams that they beat and where those teams are now, I don't know that their strength of schedule now at the end of the season is what we thought it was at the beginning. Like, how good does that win against Florida look now?
Well, that's not their fault that Florida didn't hold up for the whole season.
It's not their fault, but it tells us a story about exactly who Florida is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so, like that game, I want to say, so it was
early on the Clemson games. Clemson game started it. The Clemson game
started it because Clemson was number 3 at the time.
Exactly.
Right. And so because we thought Clemson was Clemson and that Georgia knocked them off, Clemson wasn't even in the ACC championship.
No.
And so they beat Auburn, who ends up not being Auburn, the number 18 team in the country. They beat Florida. You know, they beat Kentucky. Now that win was kind of legit. But like when you look at it, and they beat Arkansas. I think Arkansas was number 8 at the time.
They played ranked teams, but they just didn't stay ranked.
They didn't stay ranked. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So in retrospect, looking at all of those teams, is like, you know, at the time we saw those as quality wins, but in retrospect,
no, I'm not gonna take it away from them. At the time, if it was a win at the time, I'm giving it to them.
Yeah,
At the time, it was. Yeah,
I understand that, but it brings me to where we are today with why did they lay such an egg against Alabama, and maybe they just weren't who we thought they were.
Oh no, I don't believe that. I honestly believe this is a Kirby thing. I ain't gonna lie.
Well, I can agree with you on that because they did the same thing in the national championship last year. You know, and so I don't know what to make of it, but I just know that it annoys me enough to just say like, all right,
so you got Michigan and Cincinnati. Okay. All right. No,
I'm gonna go with my heart.
I can't go against my dog. Sorry, that ain't happening.
Yeah, no. I know you weren't going against that.
No, I ain't going against my dogs. But I'm hoping to see Georgia Cincinnati national championship.
Yeah.
That's what I'm hoping for. But like you started this out. What's probably going to happen?
Yeah. Rematch.
Is we're going to see a rematch of the SEC championship.
Right.
That's probably what's going to happen, which means at that point, I probably won't be watching.
Oh, yeah. No, if I got to watch a rematch, so God bless y'all. However it turns out, for those of y'all who think that this is going to be the moneymaker, God bless y'all. I won't be tuning into that game because I don't want to see, like, we don't want to make everything.
We can't lay down again.
Yeah.
I can't watch them lay down again. I can't. That it's been too many years in a row.
I'll congratulate Georgia if they win, but I will be voting with my eyes by not watching this and not giving credence to the idea that we wanted to see the rematch of the SEC championship.
Right. Yeah.
So
we'll see what happens.
Y'all let us know. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead. Yeah. No, you're good. Go ahead.
Y'all let us know who y'all think is really right. Steph is going with Cincinnati, Georgia, and you got Georgia winning the whole thing.
Of course.
I am going with Cincinnati, Michigan, and I got Cincinnati winning the whole thing. Okay. Shout out to Luke Fickell. This somehow makes his way all the way back to Ohio State. It makes his way back to Ohio State. Luke Fickell is a Ohio State guy, came from Ohio State. He was there with Urban Meyer. He was there with all of the
I was gonna say,
all the way back to what, 99?
Yeah, I can't even think his name right now. Great, I can't think of his name, but yeah, their coach.
Oh, Jim Tressel.
They had Tressel.
Yeah. But yeah, y'all let us know who y'all think is really right.
Now put the cameras on me, 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 put the cameras on me.